So now at first I was going to really rant about Hellraiser, Hellseeker, which is the sixth Hellraiser movie. I really wanted to rant about this because there's a lot of things in the movie I don't like, and I think 5 is a way better movie, Inferno, than this one, and it's very similar. But I have got halfway through Hellraiser Deader, which, what a title. And I'm gonna watch the rest of it, but it was so bad that I had to hold off and watch the rest later. So I'm gonna give this the benefit of a doubt because I thought this wasn't that good, but watching half of Hellraiser Deader, I'm like, this actually is better because at least it brought back Kirsty, even though they waste her. They waste her character so much in that movie. But Hellraiser Hellseeker isn't good, but it's not. I'm not as angry with it as or annoyed as Deader, which I've watched half of so far, and I had to stop watching it because I was like, this is so bad. Just go to the. I'm gonna just go and review, go and talk about this movie, the better one, even though I don't think this one's that great. This one is interesting though because it starts with a car crash with Kirsty and her husband Trevor. So Kirsty's just been gone since the second one, really. I mean, she's in the third one in a scene, in a footage scene where she's talking crazy about the Cenobites, but she's not really in 3. It's just 10 seconds. But in this one, it's talked about that she is now married to Trevor. They get into a car wreck immediately, crash, and go into the water. And almost shot for shot. This surprises me. This scene, in a couple moments, shot for shot, reminds me of Final Destination 2, where Kimberly flies out into the lake and she goes underwater in the van and Sheriff Burke is knocking on the window. That is literally the same shot in this movie. And this movie came out before 3, or Final Destination 2, but it cracked me up because it literally looks like the same shot because Trevor is hitting on the door. It shows Kirsty just sitting there with her hair up, just sitting there blank, and it looks just like Kimberly did in Final Destination 2. I was like, that's really funny that it looks just like that scene. So it starts with a car crash. And Kirsty, this is one thing that still bothers me, even though I don't think this is great. It annoys me that they bring back Kirsty in this movie, and honestly, at first I didn't even recognize her. It looked kind of like her, but I couldn't tell because she had different hair in this movie, and she's grown, she's gotten older, and she still looks great, by the way, and she's still great in the movie, but it's there was a difference with how whenever I saw her in this movie, I was is that her, really? So it starts out with that crash, and she immediately dies, which I thought was really, really interesting because, like I said, bring back this character and then waste her. And she is sprinkled throughout. Throughout, they're sprinkling little bits of her throughout the movie, which is just she probably had a day of shooting, a day or two of shooting, because she literally is barely in this thing at all. And she is mentioned throughout, and the movie is about the Trevor character, who's not as interesting, which is really sucky, because I really would have liked to seen Kirsty back fully, as her own, she's the main character, the first two. That would have been great. Or, I mean, even the first one, she's not even technically the main character. She becomes the main character towards the end, but not the whole movie, so... So yeah, she's wasted in this, and Pinhead appears 35 minutes in, and he's probably in this movie for 2 minutes overall. And I know that Hellraiser Inferno did that too, but Hellraiser Inferno I thought was way more interesting, even though obviously it was another script and they made it into a Hellraiser movie, but that Inferno I really dug, and I thought it was really interesting. I thought it had good cinematography, good visual images. It had a main character who I enjoyed, even though he's a horrible person, but I enjoyed that performance of the main character in Inferno. And we get this Trevor character who's not interesting in this. And basically the whole movie is Trevor having weird dreams, and it annoyed me because it's the whole movie that are having these dumb fake outs where he just imagines something creepy or bloody happening to him, and then he wakes up, or then he just realizes he's in a daze, and I'm just it's the whole movie. If it was a couple of times, it would be different, but it's the whole movie where it's just him literally encountering creepy shit, that usually the Cenobites, whatever, and then wakes up, gets out of a daze, whatever. And everybody thinks that Trevor killed Kirsty because she has an inheritance because of her Uncle Frank. And it was interesting that they went that route, and I did like that they kept the connection with, like, I guess he had money. Did he have money? Like, I don't even know, because, like, in the first movie, Frank, you don't get, like, any implication. You just hear that Frank, like, it starts with Frank opening the box, and that's it, and you don't know anything about his past. So, did he have money? Did Frank have a lot of money? I don't understand. But anyway, regardless, everybody thinks that Trevor did it. Trevor killed Kirsty because she had a lot of money. Because of her inheritance, because she didn't want to talk about her past, is what he tells people. And there's even this dumb scene where, like, Kirsty and him, like, he's filming it on a camera, and he got her a gift, and it's a little square-shaped box, and of course she opens it up, and she's like, "Where did you get this? Like, what are you doing with this? How could you do this?" And I don't get why he did that. Like, I don't even understand logically why he had the box and how he had the box. Like, I think I blacked out because this movie was so boring. Like, it was just so uninteresting because of so many bad, like, dream sequences that he keeps waking up from that are just there to make it creepy, but I don't think it was that creepy in this movie. And Trevor is used for bait by Pinhead to get Kirsty to kill her. And I kind of didn't mind that, but then we get to this twist, which honestly made the movie more interesting for me. Like, it wasn't good until this, and I liked this after the twist, because they do a complete 360, or a mirror reversal of what happened at the beginning, where Kirsty and him Trevor are laughing and smiling, and they crash, and Kirsty dies. And then there's a whole twist where, like, Kirsty kills Trevor, they crash, she gets out alive instead of Kirsty dying. She gets out alive. She kills 4 out of 5 people, and he's the 5th person to get killed. And she did that to make a bargain with Pinhead again to get him to set her free. Now, that was interesting. Even though logically a lot of that shit doesn't make any sense, I like that. I like that was a cool twist. And it just surprised me and how cool it was. And I liked how, even though it hasn't gone into any connection in Deader, but, like, Kirsty at the end, she's got, she has the box again, I think. So it's like, is there going to be another movie with her? Because I was honestly really surprised that she was in this one. Because I just didn't expect her to be back in this one. And whenever I saw her in the credits, I was like, hey, good, she's back. But not for much of the movie, which is unfortunate. So, this is not my least favorite of them all. The one I watched all the way through that's my least favorite so far is 4, Bloodline, but watching Deader halfway through, I'm like, this is terrible, and I'm gonna finish it, but it's gonna take a while because it's so stupid. But that might be my least favorite if it doesn't get better the rest of the movie. Like, this one got better as it went along. Like, it was pretty not very good throughout until the ending, and I liked the twist. I thought that was really cool, but I thought that the rest of the movie was just so uninteresting because it was just Trevor getting creepy shit happening to him and then waking up. It wasn't anything that was smart or clever or scary, and it just was not interesting. It's not the worst movie ever, but it's not good. I didn't like this one besides the ending. The ending was totally fine, but the rest of the movie was really forgettable. So this is one of the more forgettable ones I've seen so far. Not awful, but not memorable at all.